What is the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine? The fruit of the poisonous tree is a metaphor in United States law that refers to evidence obtained illegally and the principle that such evidence, along with any additional evidence derived from it, is inadmissible in court. In simple terms, if the tree is tainted, meaning the original search, seizure, or interrogation violated the Constitution, then all the fruit that grows from it, such as confessions, documents, or physical evidence, is also tainted and cannot be used against the defendant. The origins of this doctrine lie in the exclusionary rule, which developed in the early 20th century as a way to enforce the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. The metaphor itself, fruit of the poisonous tree, was popularized by Justice Felix Frankfurter in the 1939 case Nardone v. United States. Though the concept was already emerging in earlier decisions, the doctrine was solidified in Wong Sun v. United States in 1963, where the Supreme Court held that evidence indirectly obtained through illegal police conduct must also be excluded, unless it falls under certain exceptions. The rationale behind the doctrine is straightforward. Courts should not allow the government to benefit from its own unlawful conduct. If evidence obtained through illegal means were admissible, police and prosecutors would have little incentive to respect constitutional rights. By excluding both the direct evidence and any derivative evidence, the rule discourages misconduct and upholds the integrity of the judicial process. However, the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine is not absolute. Courts have recognized several exceptions to balance fairness with practicality. Independent source doctrine. If the evidence was later obtained through an independent lawful source unconnected to the illegality, it may still be admissible. Inevitable discovery rule. If the prosecution can show that the evidence would have been discovered eventually through lawful means, even without the illegal conduct, it may be admitted. Attenuation doctrine. If the connection between the illegal act and the evidence is remote or interrupted by intervening circumstances, the taint may be considered dissipated. For example, a suspect who voluntarily returns to the police station days later and confesses may break the causal chain from an earlier unlawful arrest. To illustrate, imagine police officers illegally search a suspect's home without a warrant and find a map pointing to a hidden location. They go to that location and discover stolen goods. Under the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine, both the map and the stolen goods are inadmissible in court because they stem from the unlawful search. However, if the police later receive an independent tip from a neighbor about the same location, the independent source exception might allow the evidence to be admitted. The doctrine has played a central role in shaping American criminal procedure, but it is not without controversy. Critics argue that it sometimes leads to the exclusion of highly probative evidence, allowing guilty defendants to escape punishment on what they see as technicalities. Supporters counter that constitutional rights would be meaningless if violations produce no real consequences for the government. The doctrine therefore embodies a fundamental tension between the pursuit of truth and the protection of individual rights. A curiosity about this doctrine is that not all countries adopt such a strict approach. In many legal systems outside the United States, illegally obtained evidence may still be admitted if it is considered reliable and relevant, with courts weighing fairness on a case-by-case basis. The American doctrine is distinctive in how far it extends the exclusionary principle, reflecting the strong constitutional emphasis on deterring government misconduct. In conclusion, the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine is a powerful tool for protecting constitutional rights. It ensures that courts do not legitimize unlawful police practices and that justice is pursued in a way consistent with due process. While it has exceptions and limitations, the doctrine remains a cornerstone of American criminal procedure and a vivid reminder of the phrase, "If the tree is poisoned, so is the fruit." Above, I leave you more videos so you can continue learning law. Remember to give us a like and subscribe.